Alright, welcome to part 3 of the 88 Bronco2 build. I want to show you a couple things today. I got the AC box out, got some damage in the firewall there. I want to show you it's going to be addressed. And I'm running out of room in the garage here. I keep taking things off and not putting things on the truck, so I wanted to tackle the dash pad today. I got a couple extra dashes laying around here. I'm taking the best parts of what I got. Make one good one for this one. I'm going to change the color, throw speakers in it, and I want to go ahead and get that installed so it's done, out of my way. I'm not tripping over it and it doesn't get damaged. So let's first of all, let's take a look at that firewall. I also got the AC heater box out, and I believe I found the source of where the water was coming in the truck that rotted out the floors on this side. Looks like right there, the spot where the cowl meets the firewall, that's rusted out up into the cowl. So it looks like the water was running straight from the cowl down into the heater box, which then let it get into the truck and then did that. So I'm going to address all that. I'll fix all that rust all the way across there. Actually, there's another little hole there I see. So at least I found the source of that. So we'll get that fixed up as well. And I have a nice non-AC heater box here to modify. It'll clean it up really nice. So where the factory dash speakers go, I went ahead and I made a template out of cardboard that will fit inside here, like so. I will transfer that to some ABS textured plastic that I have, and then these Fosgate Prime 1-inch tweeters will get mounted up there. They have built-in crossovers, so that will be the front stage part of the stereo system. Got a bunch of this random ABS plastic. So cut all these out, and I'll get the speakers mounted in there, put the factory grills back on, and you'll never know. And here's the finished product. Here we got the tweeters installed, some factory style push pins. And while I was at it, since I basically took the best out of the 4 dash pads I had, which this one ain't the greatest, this was blue, dyed it black, repainted the metal piece, and then I went ahead and installed net, wrapped it around that, so we actually have some useful storage there. It'll hold some stuff in there. Did that on my truck. I really liked it. So eventually I'll end up getting one of those reproduction caps for this dash pad to cover up. It's kind of wavy, and it really took like probably 6 coats of dye. It just sucked it right up. So that's the best it's going to look for now, but it looks a ton better than the busted up red one that was in it. So let's get this one in and see what it looks like. Well, there it is sitting in. Unfortunately, the glare from outside renders it pretty much unable to be seen, but I do like the contrast between the red lower and then the top portion of the dash will be black, and the little netted cubby hole. So just got to get the grills on there, hook up the wiring for the speakers. Nice Crutchfield sends you the adapter plug, so it'll plug right in, and move on to the next part of the stereo system. But that part's done. Well, thank you to Dan for coming down. Spent some time today working on the chassis. Got the rear axle out, all the rear suspension, leaf springs, shocks, shackles. Everything's off the truck, bumpers off. And I got the springs getting ready to take out the center bolt, put the added leaves in from Duff, clean everything up. Got all new energy suspension bushings for them. So made really good progress on that today. So get these springs done, get this thing sitting on its own weight again. So in the back of the truck, I'm using these Beltec 6400, 100. These are actually drop shackles for I think a Chevy 1500. And I got all new grade 8 hardware. And cleaned up the frame brackets, and I got the new shackles hanging. all this stuff here in the back here. I wire wheeled it down, cleaned it up best I could. It was really rusty, and I just treated it with some of this stuff. It's Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer. See how this works. I've never used it before. I've always used Eastwood stuff, so it's been the first time for this product. So, have all this cleaned up, so when we put the new bumper, get that built on there, hopefully that'll look pretty decent. So I took the leaf springs completely apart and used a flap wheel, sanded them all down both sides, hit them with some fresh paint, and there's the second one. That is the James Duff add-a-leaf for this kit, and it is actually a Deaver spring. There's the information for it right there. So I'm going to be putting this all back together. They give you the new center bolt with the kit. So, and I also put new energy suspension bushings in both ends of the main leaf. So now I can go ahead and put this together. And there's the new leaf pack all assembled, and you can kind of see how much, well, I guess it's hard to see from this angle. I'm gonna guess just sitting here, it's probably about 2 inches higher, sitting just like this. Looks pretty good. There you go. Driver's side spring is in on the shackle. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use the offset location on the new spring purchase to move the axle back 1 inch. And then I'll go ahead and just take a little bit off the back of this fender here to compensate for that, so it still looks kind of centered in the wheel well opening. But with this getting the new transfer case set up with the doubler in it, the drive shaft's going to be 7 inches shorter than what it normally would have, so every little bit will count that I can move this back and get a little more length out of the drive shaft. So there we go. Alright, so here the truck sits. The rear portion of the lift is basically done. Explorer axle is in it. I got the U-bolts, everything's cinched down. The perches are not welded. Just have the pinion angle just kind of eyeballed. Obviously none of that is going to be welded and set until the drivetrain is in the truck, and I know lengths of everything and where the drive shaft's going to be, so everything's just kind of snugged up for now. But that's with the leaf pack rebuilt with those James Duff add-a-leafs and the Beltec shackles. There's a good shot of them. So this would be, I mean, obviously there's no weight in the truck right now, the way it's sitting. This would be like the maximum ride height we could get out of the truck. Add all the weight in it, 2 bumper on the back, spare tire hanging on the back. I got a little bit of adjustability with the shackles to bring the ride height down to match wherever the front ends up. Obviously things have changed since the last video clip. Making some progress out here, moved a bunch of parts and everything out of the garage and into the trailer. I'll show you that. Got smart and decided to set up the trailer as another little backup shop to get some stuff out of here and make some room in here, and I can really start hauling butt on this thing, blowing it apart. And started picking apart, finding some more issues with the truck. So buddy Dennis came over. Definitely got a plan together on getting these quarters cut off, getting them replaced. And you can see, I'm gonna get this interior completely blown out of here so I can get it cutting on this floor, get this floor pan replaced, get going on the dashboard, getting everything out of here, gonna get it down to a bare shell. Everything is coming out. Crack me up. Apparently someone did the fuel pump the cheap way, the easy way, which is kind of funny. This is like super simple to do a fuel pump in these trucks, and they still cut a hole in the floor. So yeah, headliner's tore up. Gonna get this all out. Gonna do something really cool with the headliner in this truck. So we're on our way to having this gutted. Already doing a little bit of a lot of little scaly rust on the truck. Just kind of ground it all down. And I used some of that rust encapsulator on it, so I got all that treated. Some other little spots I treated. So making some progress on it. keep picking away. I'm going to get the front end up on stands and start stripping the whole front end of all the suspension next. Yeah, so in the back of the truck here, obviously I'm going to have to I'm going to have to repair that. Yeah. I don't know if I'm just gonna just weld all that back shut, or I don't know, maybe I'll do it proper, put a hinge on it and put a seal on it and actually keep it, utilize it for the future. I don't know. But yeah, we pulled out the original spare tire carrier. All that's out and gone. I think I'm gonna do just like in Gilligan. I'm gonna utilize that stock spare tire carrier with a power tank mount in there. I don't think we're gonna need 2 power tanks. You know, if we're off-roading with both trucks, I don't see a need to have 2 tanks, you know, long as we have one on us. But if she wants to go out, you know, off-roading on her own, she can take the tank, throw it on her mount, she's good to go. So I'll set up her spare tire mount with another mount for the air tank. So we're just pulling all the trim out, getting everything organized. I did find a little rust hole, weird spot here in the floor. So once I get all this trim, everything out, we'll cut that out, get that patched up. Another little potential spot right here as well. So we'll address that once all the interior is out. And I did, I got new doors for the truck. I'll show you that in the trailer. Had a couple little door dings in them. Buddy came over, popped those out. And I just took the original doors and this hatch. I do have another hatch for the truck. That this does have the fixed glass. So I got a new hatch that has, that's an older style with the opening rear glass. I just robbed all the locks out of these 3 doors. And I'm going to put those in the new doors for the truck. So still have all the, you know, the keys will still match what she has. So I did it a little bit of right here, it was a little bit scaly. Just knock it all down and hit it with that rust encapsulator. So that should be good to go. And then gonna need to place a nice order to LMC truck. Get all new weather strips for all the door openings. So making pretty good progress here. Pretty happy. So let's keep moving. And let's take a tour of the new shop here. Got all the parts laid out for the Bronco. Well, I got smart and moved everything out of the garage. And brought everything out into the trailer. Set up tables so I can gut the entire truck and just move everything out here out of my way so I'm not tripping over things. Already had a couple door dings removed out of these yesterday, so these are ready to send off to be wrapped. All the boxes of bolts and screws that just showed up. Already gutting the interior. These are ready to go bye-bye. We got some ceramic coated Duff headers. These might be my best idea yet. The part of the truck that I think we both really love is the original center console, especially the fact that the little information center here, or whatever you call it, everything on it still works. So we're going to retain that. Going to change some things on it. We're going to modify the old cup holders here to make them actually a little bit functional. I'll show that later. And something else I really hope I can do is I bought this 3-pack switch panel here, and we're going to use this to control some front lights on the front bumper, some rock lights, and then some backup lights. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to integrate this on this little void right here on the front of the console. There's some electronics in the back side here that go along with this. Hoping I can move some things around to make room for some of this stuff here. But I think that'll look really good on there. Red illumination. So that's what we're going to try to do there to utilize that space right there. So that's another one of my ideas we're going to try. So I was sitting around and coming up with some ideas for the truck. And one of the things I thought about, I wanted to do different than I did in my truck Gilligan, was I put that switch panel in the dash bezel with the USB charging ports and then that other cigarette lighter port. Cigarette lighter port never ever gets used for anything. We pretty much always use those two USB plugs. So built into the dash of these trucks, they have that cigarette lighter down there by the steering column. So what I thought about doing was, you already have that hole there. Cigarette lighter, kind of useless. So I ordered one of them, same thing that I have in my switch panel, one of them USB chargers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and eliminate the cigarette lighter from the dash, and I'm going to put this in here. So let's see what that looks like real quick. Lo and behold, look at that. It fits. So all I'm going to have to do is, in the dash, in the metal part of the dash, just go ahead and remove the cigarette lighter portion of it. The wiring is already there. It's already a constant 12 volt power source. Just ground this and steal that power source. And we have a already wired USB modern charging station here now. Look at that. Pretty slick. Try it.